Good morning everyone and welcome to a new vlog. Today I just kind of wanted to take you guys along with me for a little day in the life because I just kind of thought that would be fun. So I am getting an early start to the day. I'm getting done some work for my small business, my crochet small business. If you guys didn't know, I talked about it in my last video, but I have started a small business, which definitely was not on my 2024 bingo card, but you know, we're enjoying it. So it is called Stuffed Menagerie and I'll have it linked down below, but basically I have just been really getting into making crochet plushies. It has just been helping me out a lot with like my mental health. So I can't possibly keep everything that I make, so I am selling them on Etsy, and I'll have it linked down below if you guys wanted to check out like the Etsy page or even just the Instagram to give it a follow. So that's really weird. There's just artwork because we have a frame TV, but it's very strange that we just have a random postal man. But anyways, I have been working on a custom order this morning, so it's for a butterfly. I got the body done a couple days ago, and now I have done one of the wings this morning. I'm working with jumbo yarn, so this one's taking me a little bit longer than usual because I have to take breaks because it is quite a bit harder on like my hands and my wrists and everything, but that is what I am presently working on. I'm hoping to maybe get that done today, but I definitely don't want to push myself too hard to use that yarn for too long. And then I also have a custom order with that jumbo yarn for a snail like this, but in blue. So I need to start with that one. I have quite a few custom orders to do, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue to do custom orders. Right now I have them closed because I have quite a few, but I feel like I might kind of keep them closed for a little bit because I don't want to burn myself out, basically. Like, I love making things and I love doing the customs, but at the same time I kind of want to not get too overwhelmed and have more of the opportunity to kind of like stick with just making whatever I feel like. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that right now, but I have quite a few that I'm going to get done first, and then I'll kind of see how I'm feeling, or maybe I'll do like 2 a month or something. I'm not entirely sure yet. I have a couple things here actually that I've made recently that I'll show you. I made this sea turtle, which I am so freaking obsessed with. This was originally going to be for the store, but this is another one that I'm going to be keeping. I've only kept one other thing, which is the snail that I just showed you. Other than that, everything that I've made like with the intention to sell, even if they're things that I end up really loving, I have ended up selling them because I just know I can't keep everything. But there's just something about this turtle, honestly, I am just completely obsessed with. So I will make another one for the store though, but like, I'm so happy with this one. It was a lot of fun to make too, but it's definitely like the biggest thing that I've made so far. Other than this butterfly, I feel like is going to be even bigger. But I have a couple things that I finished yesterday too. So I finished this penguin yesterday, and then I also finished this frog yesterday. And this is kind of the combination of a couple of patterns because the original pattern for this one, it had just like tiny little feet, and I just kind of wanted, I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of the look of that. So I ended up combining a couple of patterns to give it like actual arms and legs, and I think it turned out really cute. I like the colors on it and I like the eyes. So yeah, I need to take photos for these ones and videos and get their Etsy listing set up because at the moment I'm doing a launch every other Friday on Etsy. Like, I'm currently sold out, which is so crazy to me, and I'm so grateful for it, honestly. Like, I cannot express enough how grateful I am for it. But all of that is to say that I have a restock coming this Friday, July, is it the 19th? I think it's the 19th. But basically I'm going to be restocking every other Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you wanted to keep up with that, then you can follow my Instagram page for Stuffed Menagerie, and I always, like, that week will kind of show you what's coming, and I will also set up a reminder so then you can be reminded from Instagram about it. But yeah, I am surprised, like, things sell out quite quickly. So if there was something that you're interested in, I would recommend kind of jumping on it sooner rather than later, because I've had quite a few messages where people were disappointed, which makes me feel so bad, but things are just selling out way quicker than I expected. Like, it's kind of crazy. But I do like take real pride in making sure everything is of good quality and is really nice. And because of that, like I'm only able to produce so much. Like I'm only one person, but I do try my best, you know? But to that point, a lot of these things, it's probably going to be like the only one I make of it, because that's just kind of how my brain works. I kind of want to make some things I will make multiples of, but chances are there's only going to be one of that item in a drop, and maybe I'll make it again in the future, but there's no guarantees. So just to kind of like let you know, everything is kind of one of a kind, and I can't guarantee that it will come back again. And if it does come back, it probably will be like different colors and different, you know, it will be different, but similar if it does come back. Anyways, I'm going to get started on kind of some admin work this morning. I'm going to tidy up a little bit. Actually, you guys can see in the background, we got a new couch, which is super exciting. So it is like, it's a little bit messy right now, but we got some new furniture. Let me show you. So our couch had kind of seen better days. It wasn't really in, like, it was kind of a less expensive couch that my fiance had gotten when he was by himself, and it just was starting to pill, and like, even though we had one of those things to get rid of that, it just wasn't really working anymore. So we ended up getting a really good deal on this couch, which I really enjoy, and we actually ended up getting a new dining set too, which is really exciting. So I had always hated our dining room table, to be honest. I just found it was very like masculine, not my style, but now we have this little dining set here with all new chairs and everything. The chairs really needed to be replaced, and then it also was like a super good deal. It came with a buffet, so now we have a buffet here, which we clearly don't really have room for in the dining room, so we ended up using it under the TV instead, and it has honestly been such a godsend. Like, I didn't really realize part of the reason that things always felt kind of cluttered and not exactly, I don't know, not really organized in this main area was because the only thing we really had for closed storage, other than obviously like the kitchen and everything, is this cabinet right here, which isn't very big, and half of it has glass where like you kind of want to make it look nice. So we didn't really have anything else because this is what we had under the TV originally. So we had the baskets on the bottom, and that was about it. But now, like, having this is so helpful because when I'm done with my crochet stuff, I just will put it in here and I can easily have it up here. Like, this is another thing that I'm working on. I'm working on a dragon, but it is just so handy to have this basket, which I used to just kind of keep sitting out on the dining room table. Now it actually has a home, which is really nice. I keep accidentally touching the screen, so it's not focusing on my face, sorry. But originally we were just going to be bringing this little shelving unit downstairs, but we have to have the ramp for the dog. So I knew we had to have something going on here, so then the ramp wouldn't just be a tripping hazard. It still is a little bit of a tripping hazard, but it's not like as bad. And then I realized when we were moving it that it's the exact same size as the couch, like that side of the couch, because basically what we got for the couch is a floor model, so we couldn't like switch the side that the long part is on. So I was kind of like not disappointed, but I was like, oh, I guess if we had it on the other side, it would kind of cover the window, which would annoy me. But here it was just kind of like a big thing of gray because there was nothing there. Like, it was just kind of a wall of the couch. But I really like actually having this shelving unit down here. We were just kind of trying it out, but I am very happy with how it looks. I think it looks very good. I still want to kind of like play around with what's going on in there, but for the most part, I do like it, and I like what's going on top. Like, we have this mushroom lamp. This, I have random yarn here, but this is the cutest thing. It's a little mushroom with a snail on it. I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, that is kind of the new furniture and the new everything. I am super, super happy with it. I am just loving, like, honestly, since moving, this space has kind of felt like a work in progress, and it always has. Like, the furniture never really felt like things that were my taste in particular, so it all just felt very like masculine more so. And I don't know, I just wanted to bring like more of myself and more life and more color to everything, and I feel like I've done that. Like, I still only have the artwork just like taped up there. I would like to get frames eventually, but that's something that we're saving up for. I have some artwork here. Also, the recycling needs to be emptied. Please don't judge me. All of that is to say that it feels like it's really coming together. Like this is a space that I feel like I can now kind of easily reset at the end of the day, which is making a huge difference. And it just feels like somewhere where I am happy to spend all my time. And that kind of started last year when I started adding some like fake plants and everything around. Like that started to make it feel more like my space. But now having the furniture all changed, like I am really, really happy with all of it. And it feels more like mine and more like home. So yeah, all of that is to say that I am going to get to work now. This was a really long intro to the vlog, but oh well. So I'm gonna get started on wing number 2 before I move on to the 2 smaller wings. So this is the color for the smaller wings, and then this is for the bigger ones. So I'm gonna finish with the bigger ones, which are the ones that go on top. I'm gonna finish with them first before I move on to the smaller ones. And then all I have to do is add 2 antennae, which are just surface crocheted on, and then I'll have to sew everything together, but that will probably be a project for later. I find that a lot of times the sewing is what hurts my hands the most. My hands are in very rough shape now because I just get, you know, I get really into it, but I find that the sewing does hurt my hands the most because like you have to go through thick yarn and stuffing, and it's really hard to push the needle through sometimes, but I will at least get everything crocheted, and then maybe I'll start on the snail. We'll see, because that is a lot of like bulky yarn, and I find my hands don't usually, like, they'll bother me a little bit on the day of, but usually it's the day after that they start to bother me and I kind of need to take a day off. So I'm trying to kind of prevent that. But I have not been in an audiobook mood. I haven't been reading. I don't know. I just haven't really felt like it, haven't wanted to. I'm sure I'll get back to it, but it has just not been what I've been wanting to do. So instead I've been, for the past couple of days, on a major like docu-series kick. I always have been interested in that sort of thing, but for some reason I just go through phases. Like usually I'll go through phases of just watching and rewatching stuff on YouTube just to kind of have background noise, is more what it is than anything. And lately it's been a docu-series kick. Like it feels embarrassing to say, I watched 4 entire docu-series from start to finish yesterday alone. The day before I watched 2, like it was just a lot. So now I'm starting another one. So I'm watching, what is it called? It's Twin Flame something. I don't know. It only tells me the episode title, but it's something Twin Flames. I don't really know anything about it, so that is going to be interesting. Oh, I watched 5 yesterday. I knew I watched 5. But I forgot what the 5th one was. The day before, I watched a new one that came out about Jim Jones in Jonestown, which was absolutely horrifying. Like, all of these are horrifying in some capacity, but that one especially, I was like, it really, really horrified me. And then I watched a random one about Montreal. Then yesterday I watched one about Ashley Madison, the whole like leak and everything. One about the TikTok dance cult thing, 7M, that whole thing. Then one about the disappearance of the Malaysia MH730. One about FDLS, I think is what it is. And then what was the other one that I watched? Is that 5? I feel like I'm forgetting one again. There seems to always be one that just slips through the cracks that I can't remember. I don't know, but my point is, if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. I'm generally not a huge true crime person because I'm just very easily scared. Like after watching the Jonestown one, I had a hard time sleeping that night. If you have any that like maybe aren't too gory, like I'm not really interested in anything about like serial killers or anything like that. That would just freak me out way too much. So if you have anything else, any other like interesting docuseries, they can be history, like whatever, like I have one on Stonehenge that I think I want to watch, but if you have any recommendations for anything like that, please let me know. But yeah, that has been my latest hyperfixation. While I'm like crocheting and while I'm working, that is what I will do. I am going to get to kind of tidying up the house a little bit later because I just have some areas of the house that I've kind of like neglected, not been the best about, like putting away laundry and stuff like that. And I'll maybe kind of chat to you guys about why I feel like that's happening. Can I just leave the camera there? Is that gonna be fine? It might shake a little bit. Let me get started on crocheting actually, and I will talk and crochet. Oh my God, This strand coming up is crap. This is what happens sometimes with Michael's yarn. Like, I haven't even gotten there and look at that. Well, I'll have to work in a new piece once I get to that point. But anyways, I haven't really been posting as much as I would like to, and I don't know, I feel like it's been a really weird few months. I started off the year like really gung-ho, ready to go, like, yes, woohoo, and I had been feeling really good. I was kind of coming off of last year where I had been doing really well, and I had really big like goals and ambitions. I was getting into all sorts of different hobbies, and then it kind of just became that like I became really hyperfixated on crochet, obviously, so that's kind of been the only hobby that I have really been doing. But the one thing that I kind of like wanted to talk about, and part of the reason why I feel like I have been crocheting way more than I've been reading, and why I haven't really wanted to read as much, is because I have kind of been struggling with dissociating for the past, like, I feel like it started in like around March, and that's something that I've never really dealt with, never experienced, and is very scary. Like, I don't like it at all. I feel like over the past couple of weeks I've started to get a little bit better, but it's just not fun. And because it's something that I've never really like experienced before, I didn't really know how to snap myself out of it, or like get out of it, or cope with it. And it's a very strange feeling, and it does not feel good. Like, it just feels absolutely awful. So I think because of that, like, doing something with my hands and doing something like crochet was keeping me kind of present and in the moment, because I would have to count, I would have to be kind of like paying attention to what I was doing, and it would just keep me, I don't know, grounded almost. And reading is like kind of the complete opposite, right? So at first when I was crocheting, I would be listening to audiobooks quite a bit, but then I kind of started to experience like dissociating. And I will say, like, I am obviously trying to seek professional help with that, but this is just kind of like to explain what is going on. But it is really hard for me to get a doctor in Quebec. I'm unable to get a therapist. Like, I haven't been able to find anyone, so it's kind of like we've been doing everything we can, but it's really hard. So I have a psychiatrist who has been helping with the medication and all these medication changes and everything, but I was actually supposed to have an appointment on Monday, but he had called in sick, so now they're supposed to call back to book another appointment, but I haven't heard back yet. But I really don't need to be resetting my counter now, but alas, that's what I decided to do. Anyways, I need to actually go and grab my stitch marker, so 1 second. But reading is obviously like you're kind of trying to escape almost, or like you're entering a new world, you're imagining different things. Even if it's like you're not reading fantasy, you're still entering like that character's version of the world. So it just hasn't really been something, because of that like, because of where my brain has been, and because I've been having a hard time staying present and feeling like myself, I really haven't wanted to do something where that's kind of like the whole point of it, you know? The whole point of reading is you're experiencing someone else and someone else's worldview. So I don't know if that really makes sense, but it's not like I'm never going to read again. It's just kind of, I haven't really felt the desire to do that in a little bit because of where my head has been at. And yeah, that's been kind of difficult, because obviously like it's something that I love and continue to love, but it just hasn't been what I have been interested in, because it's just been kind of a struggle. So I don't know if any of that makes sense, and I apologize if it doesn't, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an explanation for where I'm at and what's been going on and all of that. It's something that's kind of hard for me to explain, because it's something that I don't really fully understand myself. I can only like tell you my experience with it, and I don't know, I don't want to get into too much detail just because it feels like really scary to me, and it's not something that's exactly fun, but it just feels like for the past few months, like the most basic things have felt really difficult, because I feel like nothing is real and nothing is like consequential, and it's really weird. It's really awful. Like, I can't even begin to describe it, because it wasn't even something that I realized was happening for a while. And then I was like, oh, I guess this, like, I don't know. It's just really weird. I know I just like cut myself off mid-sentence, but it's just like this very, very strange thing that I've been dealing with that I don't fully think I am able to comprehend and don't really like understand. But yeah, that is kind of what has been going on. So I'm going to get to crocheting my butterfly wing, and I'm starting work soon, so I will get to that. But I just kind of wanted to start off the video saying that, and that sometimes it might be a little bit harder for me to post, but I'm doing my best because I do still love making videos, like whether they're about books or whatever. It's something that I still do really enjoy, so I do want to continue doing it. But genuinely, like, thank you guys so much for supporting me with this new venture and crocheting, because it has been super helpful for me to like actually be able to do something like this and stay present and feel like I'm progressing, even though my brain has kind of been struggling lately. So yeah. Hello, it's a few days later. I have been having stomach issues, so I have not been updating you guys. I apologize, but I did really want to get a video up. Like, I want to get back to vlogging. I'm just having such a hard time like actually committing myself to it, but we're just gonna finish this one, even though it might be a little bit all over the place, okay? So I have still been deep in my docu-series watches. I did realize that the one day that I said that I watched 4, I did indeed watch 5. And the one that I was forgetting to tell you guys about, I think, was the Man with 1,000 Kids one, which was also very interesting and horrifying. Like, all of these are just horrifying, but I keep watching them. I feel like, I mean, a lot of people that I know, they go through this phase where they're like just fascinated by cults and stuff like that, and I never thought that would be me, but here we are. I am very fascinated by it right now. So I watched a couple more yesterday. I forget what I watched yesterday. Oh, I watched the Fire Festival documentary yesterday too, which was very interesting. But yeah, that was my day yesterday. I did that, and then work was also really busy. Just ignore the fact that the bedroom behind me is very messy, but work was very busy, so I was just working and watching docu-series. But I'm trying to get back to, like, one of the things that I did last year that was really beneficial for me was actually like getting ready for the day every day, even though I stay at home and I work from home. Getting ready for the day was really helpful. So I'm trying to do that, even if it means I'm just like putting on a different t-shirt, just making sure that I am actually kind of doing some things that might help to, you know, boost my mood a little bit, if you will. I don't think the camera was on me at all at that point, but whatever. I'm just gonna get changed and then I'll show you what I've been making, because I've crocheted a little bit. I haven't done a lot because, as expected, whenever I use the very bulky yarn, I wake up the next day and my hands are tingling. So I ended up taking a break yesterday. I didn't really do very much. So I'll show you what I did do though. Okay, so here's everything that I did. So I did end up finishing with all of the wings for my little butterfly here. So now I just need to surface crochet the antenna on top, and then I need to sew these on. But like I said, my hands were hurting, so I just haven't done that yet, but I will be doing that in the next little bit. Maybe I'll do that today. I'm not 100% sure. And then I also started on the shell for a custom order that I have for a snail like this, but in blue. So I have the one half of the shell is attached already, and then I just need to attach the other half and then do the body. So that should be done soon too. I'll then have to sew it together. But yeah, the only thing that I've made other than that is I made this dragon, which I am absolutely obsessed with. Like, I need to show you guys in the light because its eyes and everything are so cool. Wow, so glad you can see in the light. It's not at all washed out. There we go. It has like little sparkly eyes. It's got the rainbow wings and everything, and I am just so happy with how this turned out. It's definitely the first of many dragons that I'm going to be making, but when you're seeing this video, everything will be live on my Etsy because it's lunchtime now, and I'm actually going to try and like finish up editing this and get it posted. So if you guys were interested, then you can go and check out the link down below because I have posted everything on there. I have 12 new items for you guys, and I'm very excited about all of them. So I hope that you guys like them too. Ignore the state of things behind me, I'm sorry, but I somehow neglected to actually show you all the things that I was listing this go around. So I actually have some footage from like a false start of this vlog that I'm just going to insert here so you guys can see everything. But anyways, so first of all, we have this whale shark, and this one's actually going to be a little bit different. So the color changes on this one didn't turn out 100%, so I'm going to be offering it at a discounted price and kind of saying that it's a little bit imperfect, but it's just the color changes didn't turn out 100%. I think because of my tension, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't really had that issue, or the designer might actually do yarn over and I do yarn under, so that might be why. But on the one side, they just turned out a little bit different. But I wanted to make some sharks for Shark Week, so I did this whale shark, which I think is still so adorable. Really happy with it. But this is actually the first shark that I made. So I made this little one, which is just this bright blue shark with sparkly eyes, which I quite enjoy. I'm not really going in order, I'm just kind of showing you random things. So we have this giraffe here, which is so adorable. I love this one, even though it doesn't really like have a long neck. I think it's so cute, honestly. Then we have this sloth, which like my mom was like, this looks like Humpty Dumpty, and it absolutely does. It's just like a little egg blobby sloth, but the way that he sits, like it's perfect for a bookshelf. He just would sit right on the bookshelf, which is super fun. I have this koala, which I started following a pattern, but then I ended up completely going on my own, and I am really happy with how it turned out. So that's good. Then we have this dog, which is super cute. He has like the little puppy dog eyes, and I think he turned out very adorable as well with his little tail. I have this puffer fish, which I for sure will be making more of these because this was very quick and it was a lot of fun too. I really enjoyed this one. I love the eyes on it, and I'm just so happy with him. I think he's adorable. And then I have this elephant, which is nice, and like the yarn is kind of fuzzy, which is cool, but I think he's fun as well. And then finally, I actually finished this morning, but it is this cat, which it looks kind of like my cat Ella at home. So yeah, I went for another cat, which I thought was fun. But that's going to be all for today's video. I know this was kind of a quick one, maybe a little bit all over the place, but honestly, that is what I'm able to give you right now. And that's just what we're going to be sticking with. I hope that's okay with you guys, but I just really want to get back into the swing of things, and this is helping me to do it. So I hope that maybe this video helped you guys to kind of understand where I've been at, what's been going on a little bit, and all of that. I hope you still enjoyed it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your support as always, and thank you for sticking with me. And I will see you guys in another new video very soon. Bye!